Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
In continuation to the last class, in this class we are going to discuss example problems, example 10.5 and then example 10.6. Okay, right. See here, first we will go through the example problem 10.5. See here, two syringes of different cross sections, right? You know, the doctor is going to give injection, no? That is what syringe. Two syringes of different cross sections in the bracket without needles, filled with water, are connected with a tightly fitted rubber tube filled with water. I will repeat once again. Two syringes of different cross sections filled with water are connected with a tightly fitted rubber tube filled with water. Full stop. Diameters of the smaller piston and larger piston are 1 centimeter and 3 centimeters respectively. So, if you know the diameter, you can find the radius, no? That is what diameter is equal to 2 into radius. Diameter is equal to 2 into radius. So, diameter of the smaller piston and larger piston are 1 centimeter and 3 centimeters respectively. So, we have to keep in mind diameter of the smaller piston is 1 centimeter and diameter of the larger piston is 3 centimeter. So, that radius of the smaller piston is 0.5 centimeter and radius of the larger piston is 1.5 centimeter. 1.5 centimeter. Okay, right. Now, he is asking to find two things. A is find the force exerted on the larger piston. Find the force exerted on the larger piston when a force of 10 newtons is applied to the smaller piston. So, he is asking what is the force exerted on the larger piston when a force of 10 newtons is applied to the smaller piston. That is one thing. And B is if the smaller piston is pushed through 6 centimeters, right? If B is if the smaller piston is pushed in through 6.0, that is what 6 centimeters, how much does the larger piston move out? How much does the larger piston move out? So, based on the given data, based on the given information and based on the given data, we have to calculate two things. One is force exerted on the larger piston when a force of 10 newtons is applied to the smaller piston, that is one thing. And B is if the smaller piston is pushed in through 6.0 centimeters, how much does the larger piston move out? Okay. In our previous class, we discussed about hydraulic missions, right? So, the working principle of hydraulic mission is Pascal's law. So, there we had two pistons. One is a smaller piston having less area of cross section when compared to another piston, that is what larger piston having larger area of cross section. There itself, in our previous class, we discussed how we are getting the mechanical advantage by using a hydraulic mission, right, based on the principle of Pascal's law, which helps us to lift a heavy load, right, to lift heavy load. So, while repairing, see that is what automobiles. So for example, car, right? So if he want to repair the bottom part of the car, definitely he is utilizing this hydraulic machine to lift the car. So by lifting the car, he is going to repair generally, right? Not only there, garages, whatever it may be the place, but whenever you want to lift the heavy load by using small amount of force, that is what there itself we are getting mechanical advantage, right? So mechanical advantage means what? By using little amount of force or by using little amount of energy, we have to do lot amount of work. There we are getting mechanical advantage. So here we are getting mechanical advantage by using hydraulic machine, which is working based on the Pascal's law. That's what we discussed in our previous class. There itself we had a picture also. That picture we have to keep in mind, because here he is talking about smaller piston and larger piston, no, right? So that's why smaller piston means having less area of cross section, right? Area of cross section means generally pi r square, no, right? So pi r square. So r value we got, that is what here 0.5 centimeter, and here it is 1.5 centimeters for larger piston. So by knowing the r value, you can find out the area of cross section, no, that is what pi r square. Right, now we are going to discuss the answer. See here, answer A. So what is A? Since the pressure is transmitted and diminished, throughout the fluid, this is what Pascal's law, no? So what is the Pascal's law? So the exerted pressure transmits equally, that is what, undiminished to every part of the fluid. That is what Pascal's law. So based on that he is writing, since the pressure is transmitted and diminished throughout the fluid, so that he can write F2 is equal to A2 by A1 into F1. So A2 is pi r square, no, A1 is also pi r square, okay, right. So when A2 is pi r square, pi into 3 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 to the power of minus 2 meter, no, right. So what is the area of what is the radius of the larger piston? They have given diameter, that is 3 centimeters, but we need radius. Radius means 3 by 2 centimeter, no, right. So when it is 3 by 2 centimeter, here 3 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2, because the centimeter we have to convert into meter square, because here we are taking force in SI unit, no. So that is similar to that, inconvenient to that, we have to take that radius also in meters. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. Pi into 3 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter whole square, because area of cross section is pi r square. Pi r square. So pi into 3 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter, for this only square. Next here also A1, but it is only 1 centimeter, no, 1 centimeter is diameter, radius is 1 by 2 centimeter. That 1 by 2 centimeters we have to write in terms of meter. So that what is the denominator? Pi into 1 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter whole square. Pi will get cancelled, no, right. The value of pi is 3.14, but no need to substitute, it is going to get cancelled. Now do this mathematical process, that is what divide these two, and then the resultant one you have to multiply with 10, so that you are getting 90 newtons. Okay, ma, 90 newtons. Okay, so here the resultant of this will give us 9 into 10 means that is 90 newtons. So 90 newtons is the F2 value. That's what he is asking. Find the force exerted on the larger piston when a force of 10 newtons is applied to a smaller piston. That is what 90 newtons we got. So we have to apply 90 newtons of force. 90 newtons of force on the larger piston. When a force of 10 newtons is applied to the smaller piston. Okay, right. Because here we use, no, this is the force exerted on the smaller piston, that is what 10 newtons. Next B. If the smaller piston is pushed in through 6 centimeters, how much does the larger piston move out? How much does the larger piston move out? See here, B. Water is compressed to be perfectly incompressible. Water is compressed to be perfectly incompressible. See here, volume covered by the movement of smaller piston, volume covered by the movement of smaller piston inwards is equal to the volume moved outwards due to the larger piston. So what is smaller piston, what is larger piston, how a smaller piston is moving, how we are applying force on the smaller piston. Similarly, what is the resultant force, how it is acting on the larger piston, how the larger piston is moving. These and all we discussed in our previous class. So when the smaller piston is moving downwards, when the smaller piston is moving inwards, right, that is what with some volume, covering some volume covered by the movement of smaller piston inwards is equal to volume moved outwards due to the larger piston. Okay, that is. So here L1 A1 is equal to L2 A2. L2 is equal to A1 by A2 into L1. A1 by A2 into L1. Okay, right. See, what is A1 ma? See, pi into 1 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square divided by, what is A2? 3 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2. See here, that is the, see, if you know the diameter of the larger piston as 3 centimeters, from that you can find out the radius of the larger piston, that is 1.5 centimeters, otherwise 3 by 2 centimeters. That in place of centimeters you can write meter, that is 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. So pi into 3 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter whole square, right. Here also pi will get cancelled, and after cancelling this pi and pi, you know, if we complete this mathematical process, right, there we are getting, right, see here ma, so into 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. So complete this pi will get cancelled, and this one will give us 0.67, that is into 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2 is also there now. So this total, this if you complete this division and the resultant has to be multiplied with this value, means finally we are getting 0.67 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. So 10 to the power of minus 2 meter means you can write centimeter now. So that is equal to 0.67 centimeter. 0.67 centimeter. So here one important note, that is atmospheric pressure is common to both pistons and has been ignored. Atmosphere pressure is common to both the pistons, smaller piston and larger piston, so that we can be ignored here. That's what the important note. Okay. So in this problem, in this example 10.5, right, he has given two pistons. He is talking about both the pistons, that is what smaller piston and larger pistons, right. Anyhow, by having the diameters of smaller piston and larger piston, right, we found the force exerted on the larger piston when a force of 10 newtons is applied to the smaller piston, and B, if the smaller piston is pushed in through 6 centimeters, how much does the larger piston move out, right. So two things we calculated. So in first case we got it as 90 newtons, that is what the force exerted on the larger piston, right, when a force of 10 newtons is applied to the smaller piston. And in B, if the smaller piston is pushed through 6 centimeters, then the larger piston has to move 0.67 centimeters. So it is a 6 centimeters, smaller piston is 6 centimeters, means larger piston is 0.67 centimeters. Okay, right. Now see the important note here, that is atmospheric pressure is common to both pistons and hence it has been ignored. Now next example problem, that is example 10.6. In a car lift, compressed air, compressed air exerts a force F1 on a small piston having a radius of 5 centimeters, right. So directly they have given radius, that is 5 centimeters, full stop. This pressure is transmitted to a second piston of radius 15 centimeters. Okay. If the mass of the car to be lifted, is 1350 kilogram, calculate F1. What is the pressure necessary to accomplish this task? Calculate F1 and then Again, so after that, first we have to calculate F1. After that, he is asking to calculate again what is the pressure. What is the pressure necessary to accomplish this task? Okay, that is. So, in this problem, in a car lift, compressed air, I hope you are able to imagine what is meant by compressed air, right? So, gases are highly compressible, no? And one more thing I want to say here itself, see the compressed air exerts more pressure when compared to the air in normal state or in normal condition. So, here he specially mentioned the compressed air. So, when you are going for comparison, we must understand the compressed air exerts more pressure. Okay, that is what pressure is equal to force by area, no? That's why, when you are going to compress, right? See, in a car lift, compressed air exerts a force F1 on a small piston having a radius of 5 centimeters. Full stop. This pressure, so whatever the pressure because of this compressed air is transmitted to a second piston of radius 15 centimeters. This is the situation generally happens, no? So, whenever we are going to exert pressure on a fluid, that pressure will be transmitted equally undiminished in all directions to the every part of the fluid. That is what the statement of Pascal's law. So, when this pressure is transmitted to a second piston of radius 15 centimeters, so it is a small piston of 5 centimeters, it is a larger piston of 15 centimeters, right? If the mass of the car to be lifted is 1350 kg, so 1350 kilogram, this is the mass of the car, right? First we have to calculate F1 and then we have to calculate the pressure necessary to accomplish this task. They have given G value also, small g, that is 9.8 meter per second square. See here, since pressure is transmitted undiminished equally throughout the fluid, so you can write this one, that is F1 is equal to A1 by A2 into F2. F1 is equal to A1 by A2 into F2. Here you can write F2 as a subject, you can write F1 as a subject. So in a previous problem in the same class, when we were in a discussion regarding the example 10.5, there we have written F2 as a subject. F2 is equal to A2 by A1 into F1. Suppose if you write F1 as a subject, F1 is equal to A1 by A2 into F2. See, A is equal to pi r square. So it is the area of cross section, pi into R1 square. Next, here pi into R2 square. Generally R1 is for smaller piston, no? So they have given the radius of R1 as 5 centimeter. When you are taking here force in newtons, right? Force in newtons, then here we have to convert this 1350 kilogram into newtons, because 1 kg weight is equal to Newton, 1 kg weight. So 1350 kilogram they have given, that we are converting into Newton. 1 kg weight is equal to 9.8 Newton. So to convert kilogram into newtons, we have to multiply with 9.8, and it is what square is there. So that's why this will get cancelled, pi will get cancelled, and it is what 5 into 10 power minus 2 into 5 into 10 power minus 2. Here 15 into 10 power minus 2 into 15 into 10 power minus 2. So 1 by 6 like that it will come. So 1 by 6, and here 1350 into 9.8. So in the numerator we will get 1350 into 9.8. In the denominator you will get 1 by 9 So what is this output of this mathematical calculation? 1350 into 9.8 divided by 9, not 6. So in the denominator here you will get 9. So that will give us 1470 newtons it will give us. So 1470 newtons means, what is that? Approximately 1500 newtons, 1500. So which is approximately equal to 1.5 into 10 power 3 newtons, right? So 1.5 means we can write 15 by 10 now. So here numerator 10, here 10 cubed means will get cancelled and 10 square will come. So this one you can write it as approximately 1.5 into 10 to the power of 3 newtons. That is what the value of F1 we are getting. So in that case, whatever he is asking, That is, if the mass of the car is to be lifted 1350 kg, calculate F1. Means F1 we got it as 1.5 into 10 to the power of 3 newtons. Next, what is the pressure? What is the pressure necessary to accomplish this task? Right. See, the air pressure that will produce this force is, the air pressure that will produce this force is, that is P is equal to F1 by A1 now. So that is equal to F1 is 1.5 into 10 power 3 divided by A1 is pi r. Generally A area of cross section is pi r square, right? The piston is the shape of the piston is in the form of like a circle, right? It is like a rod. See, if you take a rod, it is generally it is okay. You can see that is what is a square shaped also, but I am talking about the circular shaped rods. Okay. So that's why here we are taking pi r square. So P is equal to F1 by A1, that is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power of 3 newtons, that is what numerator, and then A is pi into 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. It is the area of cross section of the smaller piston. No? So for smaller piston they have given radius as 5 centimeters. So that here we are taking 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. So pi into 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square meter, that is equal to 1.9 into 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. It is what 1500 now, because it is 1500, and it is what 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 into 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2, but here pi value is also there, that is what 22 by 7 or 3.14. So if you complete this mathematical calculation, which will give us 1.9 into 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. So that you can also say that 1940 zeros will come now. 1940 zeros will come, right? In terms of power, 10 to the power of 5. You can write it as 1.9 into 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. This is almost double the atmospheric pressure. This is almost double the atmospheric pressure, right? Okay, because atmospheric pressure is 1 into 10 to the power of 5 no. So this is 1.9 into 10 to the power of 5 means, which is double the atmospheric pressure. Hydraulic brakes in automobiles also work on the same principle. That is what in our previous class I told you. So what is the main thing here means, when you apply a little force on the pedal with our foot, the master piston moves inside the master cylinder and the pressure caused is transmitted throughout the brake oil to act on a piston of larger area. So here itself we are getting mechanical advantage. By applying small amount of force, you are able to produce, or you are able to create by encashing the Pascal's law, you are getting, or you are obtaining that is what more effort. Then a large force acts on the piston and is pushed down, expanding the brake shoes against the brake lining. Okay, so in this way a small force on the pedal produces a large retarding force on the wheel. So when a large retarding force applies on the wheel, then immediately the wheel comes to stop now. So the vehicle is going to stop. So an important advantage of the system is that here the pressure set up by pressing pedal is transmitted equally to all cylinders attached to the 4 wheels. So if you see the braking mechanism, so that you could understand easily. So when the pressure set up by pressing the pedal is transmitted equally to all cylinders attached to the 4 wheels, so that the braking effort is equal on all the wheels. This is the main functioning of hydraulic brakes by encashing or by utilizing the Pascal's principle. Okay, right. So in this class we discussed 2 example problems, example 10.5 and example 10.6, and at last we discussed about the hydraulic brakes, how the hydraulic brake works briefly. Hydraulic mission already we discussed. So in our last class we discussed about hydraulic mission. Now in this class we focused a little about hydraulic brakes, but the principle is same, no? That is what Pascal's principle. Okay, so our next class we will continue with the next continuation topic, that is streamline flow, and then okay, after completion of that we will concentrate towards Bernoulli's principle. Okay, thank you.